Hey everybody, what's going on? It's James here, and I wanted to shoot a different type of video today. You guys know, if you've been following the channel for a while, I've been shooting videos, doing free content since the summer of 2017. I took a lot of my old videos down because, unfortunately, I was sharing a lot of personal information, but it did indeed start in the summer of 2017. And essentially what happened was, over time, people would start asking me if I would put together a course. So I did. I put together a course a couple of years ago. I've been updating that course. You guys might hear once in a while when I say, hey, you can check the description for a link to join that course, but I never really push it. So what I wanted to do is finally sit down today because I've always treated this as kind of a hobby. Trading has been like my main source of income, whereas teaching and things like that were a side income. And just to prove it to you, this is the sales report for that trading course. This is for the entire year of 2020. You can see here that 42 sales, $8,000 in revenue. The thing that I'm most proud of probably on that is the fact that you can see here that 0 refunds, right? Everybody who has joined the course has been ecstatic with it. I've had absolutely no negative feedback whatsoever. So really, really happy with, the student results and the student feedback that I've gotten from it. So I've decided to do a little more with it and to really put some energy into this thing, because some of you may or may not know, my background before I became a trader was actually in marketing, and more specifically in digital products. So I taught people how to build businesses from home. And I enjoyed doing that. I did that for several years, but eventually I got burnt out. That's how I stumbled onto trading. It was like, oh, this is cool. This is exciting. And here I am kind of at the point now where I feel qualified, if you will, to kind of teach other people. The stuff that I'm doing, it's working very, very well for me. And it's, it reaches a point where it's like, okay, well, now what? Right? Okay, you've hit this level of success. Now what do you do for excitement? And for me, that excitement is really teaching other people. Now, don't get me wrong. My main source of income will remain trading. I'm not going to switch gears because this has been the most consistent and reliable income that I've ever had. I've had businesses that have done very well, but it's never been reliable. They might have a 6-month hot streak or, a 30-day hot streak. Where like a business does $100,000 in 30 days, but then it might go 9 months and not make anything, right? So trading has been amazing. It's been consistent. So what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be increasing the price of this, because I would like to start running some advertising and things like that. That obviously costs money. So I'm going to be increasing this price to $997 come Sunday night at midnight, which will be October 4th, midnight, U.S. Eastern time. So if you'd like to get in, this is going to be your last chance this weekend. You can get in for just $297 a year. People ask me sometimes, James, why is it recurring? Well, it's recurring because it costs me money to host it, costs me money to upkeep it, costs me money to host the videos, costs me money to host the site, et cetera, et cetera. But realistically speaking, you don't need to stay in there, right? If you join a year from now, you're not going to still need to go watch videos. You're going to know everything you need to know, and of course you can cancel. But if you want to hang out and just support me, then you can stay a member, right? So what do you get inside the course? Well, essentially what I teach in here is I teach all the same stuff that you could find anywhere else for free, right? First of all, things like fundamentals, things like technical analysis patterns, things like candlestick patterns. You're going to find this stuff all over the internet. I mean, it's free, really. There's all kinds of sites that teach you this stuff, or you can go to Kindle and you can get ebooks for like $10 that teach this stuff. The only reason I'm teaching it is because people don't want to go all over the place, right? It's easier if they buy something to have it all in one place. You'll have some basics like, what exchanges I trade on. But really the meat and potatoes of this course is going to come down to these last 3 sections. And that's money management. I have a very specific way that I manage my money. And by manage my money, I'm talking about trade fund. Some of you may or may not know, but once upon a time, I used to play poker for a living. So back then we called it bankroll management. And I brought all those skill sets to trading, which has served me very well. And I don't know that I do this different from other people. I don't really pay attention to what other people do, but I've never seen anybody else talking about the way that I do money management. And for example, I go into deep about how to set your stop losses and what size trades you should be doing, and how every trade should have the same profit target, and every trade should have the same stop loss. And what I mean by that is dollar amounts. I don't mean percentages. I don't mean, okay, you always do a $13 stop. I mean, you're always risking the same amount of money, and you're always going for the same amount of money. And there's a formula that I've talked about on this channel before, but I go a lot deeper into it throughout this section here. putting it together is talking about obviously taking all this basic stuff and how do you apply it to actually trading. And then finally the trade setups. This is probably the part that most people are going to get the most out of. It's either going to be money management or the trade setups, because a lot of people already have the basics down, but they don't know how to kind of put it all together and, you know, get consistent results because they're not trading consistently. So what a trade setup is, if you don't know, a trade setup is basically a set of rules where if, you know, almost like a computer program, right? If you've ever heard of computer programming and something called an if statement, you know, if something is true, then do this. That's what a trade setup is. If this, and this happens, then I'm going to go long with this profit target and this stop loss. If this, and this happens, I'm going to go short with this profit target and this stop loss. And it's literally like a set of rules. And as long as I follow those rules and I don't let my emotions get in the way, those rules do very, very well for me. They have an extremely high win rate. So I'll just tell you that I can't guarantee what kind of results you'll get with it. I can only guarantee you that the setups that I teach in here are the actual setups that I created and use in my own trading. And yes, I created them. They're not setups that you're gonna go read about in a book somewhere. They're not setups that you can go find in some course somewhere. I created these myself, and it came from trial and error. It came from literally over 10,000 hours of trading, right? Over the last 41 months, if I had to ballpark it, I've probably, you know, done somewhere between 12 and 15,000 hours of charting, right? Straight up charting, just looking at charts. Earlier on Twitter, somebody said, dude, your eyes are like an eagle. You see everything. That just comes from tons and tons of experience, right? I've got more experience in 3 or 4 years than most people get in 10 or 15 or 20 years because they're trading 2 or 3 hours a day. I'm trading, you know, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, or I was, right? I still do a lot of trading now. I'm a very active day trader, but my first year I was trading like 12 hours every single day. Now I try to keep a healthier work, you know, life balance, but I'm still, you know, looking at charts 30, 40 hours a week, not because I have to, but because it's what I love to do. I really, really enjoy this stuff. So I will have a normal update video for you hopefully later today, but I wanted to get this video out first and give everybody on the YouTube channel an opportunity, because most of the times, guys, I don't do anything on the channel that's like salesy, right? I do all that stuff in the Facebook group, and I don't do any salesy stuff in there either, but, you know, I make offers available to them. And then sometimes it occurs to me, gosh, you know, I didn't even tell my YouTube audience about this stuff, and I probably should have. For example, we did a case study group a couple of months ago. We took 50 people in, teaching them some trading strategies, and, you know, some of those students have gotten some insane results. Like one person, you know, started with $385 and turned it into $3,800, right? We've had several students double their accounts and so on and so forth. So, and you know, I didn't even tell the YouTube channel about that. So I want to make sure I tell you guys about this. This is something that's very near and dear to me. It's very important to me that, you know, I share what I know with other people and help other people to kind of, you know, put all these pieces together. Now, that being said, obviously, as you can see down here at the bottom of the page, I'm going to reiterate this to you. I am not a professional trader. I cannot give you financial advice. And also, I can't guarantee you'll get any results. It's flat out illegal for me to make any type of forward-looking statement telling you you're going to get a result, telling you that you're going to make money. I can't guarantee any of that. The only thing I can guarantee is that I'll do my very best to help you by teaching you everything that I know about trading as far as what I use in my day-to-day trades. It's going to all be right there in these videos. And then as far as results go, you know, that's up to you to take that stuff and run with it. But obviously, you know, selling this thing, you know, for the last couple of years, no refunds. People are pretty happy with it. So if you'd like to join, there will be a link down in the description. It is just $297 a year. And yes, it really is going up. Sunday at midnight, it'll go up to $997. So any questions, just leave a comment right here on the channel. I'll be happy to answer those for you. I'm fully transparent, nothing held back. All right, this is James with Crypto Common Sense. And again, I will have a regular update video for you, hopefully later today.